Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now we'll be doing primary syllabus mathematics for grade 4 Oxford. We are doing chapter 1, lesson 4, rounding numbers. Here we will be doing rounding numbers in 3 stages. Number 1 is rounding to nearest 10. Number 2, rounding to nearest 100. And number 3, rounding to nearest 1000. Okay, there are 3 different types or subjects we need to consider in this video. We will be starting from rounding to nearest 10. So you need to just observe the rules. If we have a number 36 and we need to round it to nearest 10, so just underline it is nearest to 10. Okay, put a bar like this. This is 10th place. Okay, so remember we don't need this one. It will be automatically 0 because we need rounding to nearest 10. This is the first point you need to remember, that when you are doing rounding to nearest 10, so ones will be automatically 0. The second thing is that you need to see this ones number, the number which is right on the right side of tens, that whether it is equal to 5 or greater than 5. If this ones number is equal to 5 or greater than 5, then we add 1 to tens. So it becomes 3 plus 1, 4. So our answer becomes 40. So when we are rounding 36 to nearest 10, so our answer is 40. Okay, so we will consider more examples. Let's suppose we have 43. We need to round it to nearest 10. When we are rounding to nearest 10, place a symbol or bar to keep you in your mind that you are going to solve it for nearest to 10. Okay, so when we are talking about nearest to 10, then we don't need this number 1, it becomes 0 automatically. Okay, this is the first thing. The second action is that you need to consider this number on the ones place, whether it is less than or greater than 5. Okay, if it is less than 5, then we don't add anything or subtract anything, it remains the same, no change. Okay, so we keep it as such, no change. 40 is the answer for this rounding 43 to nearest 10. Okay, then we move to another one. 55, we need to round it to nearest 10. So place a symbol here that you should keep in mind that you are rounding nearest to 10. Okay, when we are talking about rounding to nearest 10, so this, the first step is it becomes automatically 0. We don't need ones. Okay, the second thing is that if this number on the ones place, if it is equal to 5, okay, so still we add 1 to the tens place and it becomes 5 plus 1, 6. So answer for 55 is 60. So when we round 55 to nearest 10, it becomes 60. Okay, we want to do more examples so that this topic should be easier for you. Let's suppose we have 315. We need to round it to nearest 10. So first place something for your identification, that you are going for rounding to nearest 10. The very first action is, we don't need this one once, it becomes 0 automatically, first action. Second action is that if this number on ones place, if it is equal to 5 or if it is greater than 5, okay, then we add 1 to the tens place. 1 plus 1 becomes 2, okay. This number 100 place, no change, 320. So answer for this number 315 rounding to nearest 10 becomes 320. 320 is the answer for this example. Now we move ahead with the same topic, rounding to nearest 10. If we have, let's suppose 672 ones, tens, 100, and if we want to round it to nearest 10, so nearest 10 is this place, okay. Keep in mind that you need only to round to nearest 10. When we are talking about rounding to nearest 10, the first action is that we don't need ones, it becomes automatically 0. The second thing is that the number on ones place, if it is less than 5, then no change here, it comes like this, no change, and this 100 place, no change, okay. So our answer is 670. So when we talk about rounding to nearest 10 for 672, our answer will be 670. Now we move ahead with more examples. Let's suppose we have 895, okay. So we need to round it to nearest 10. The very first action is it becomes 0. We don't need any number here other than 0, okay. The second thing is that if the number on ones place, if it is equal to 5, we add 1 here, okay. 9 plus 1 becomes 10, okay. This 0, it will come here, and this 10th place, this one, it will be added here, carry forward. 8 plus 1, 9. So its answer is 900. I would like to repeat this example so that it should be easier to understand. 895, we need to round it to nearest 10. Nearest 10 means this is nearest 10, okay. The very first action is that when we are rounding to nearest 10, this automatically becomes 0, this one's place. The second action is that if the number on the ones place, if it is equal to 5 or greater than 5, we add 1 to the tens. So we will be adding here 1, it becomes 9 plus 1 is equal to 10, okay. Now what to do is, this 0 will be placed here, and this 1 digit which is on the 10th place, it will be carried forward to the 100th place, it becomes 8 plus 1, 9. So the answer for 895 rounded to nearest 10 becomes 900, okay. Now similarly we do another example, 804, we need to round it to nearest 10, okay. So nearest 10 means this place, okay. So when we are talking about rounding to nearest 10, first action is that ones place automatically becomes 0. The second action is that the number on the ones place, if it is less than 5, then there is no change here, it becomes like this no change, 800. So 804, it becomes to 800 when we are talking about rounding to nearest 10. Now I think we have done sufficient examples to make you understand about the concept of rounding to nearest 10. Now we will be talking about the rounding to nearest 100, okay. So let's suppose we have a number 99, okay. We need to round it off. So this is not a good example, I think. We will go for a big example. 993. 1 tens 100. Okay. We need to round to nearest 100. 100 means this is 100 place. Keep some symbol here so that you should keep in mind that you are rounding to nearest 100. When we are talking about rounding to nearest 100, the first action is that all the digits on the right side, they become 0. This becomes 0. This becomes 0. This is the first action. Okay. Then the second action is that the neighbor of this 100 position, 100 place, it is this one. This is the neighbor. Okay. We need to look at this number. If this number is greater than 5, then we add 1 to the 100th place. 9 plus 1 becomes 10. So we'll put 0 and 1. 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. This is 10. Okay. So it becomes 1000. So when we round 993 to nearest 100, we get the figure 1000. Okay. This was the first example. Now we move to other examples. 1 tens 100 thousand. Let's suppose if we have number 5635. Okay. And if we say that we need to round it to nearest 100, so place some symbol so that you should keep in mind that you are rounding to nearest 100. The very first action for rounding to nearest 100 is that all the digits on the right side become 0. This becomes 0. This becomes 0. Okay. The second the second action is that if we are talking about rounding to nearest 100, so its neighbor on the right side, this number, if it is less than 5, then there is no change here. It remains same. It remains same. So our answer is 5600. The original number was 5635, and when we decided to round it to nearest 100, so we got the answer 5600. Following the rules, the first rule was that all the numbers on the right side of the 100th place, they become 0. So we did 0 0 here. Then we looked at this number, which is a neighbor of 100. This one, if it is less than 5, then there will be no change here. It comes at automatically like this as such. There is no change here. So 5600 is the answer for this example. Now we move to another example. Let's suppose we have 9939. This is the number. If we want to round to nearest 100, so place a symbol here that you are deciding to round to nearest 100. The very first rule is that all the digits on the right side, they become 0. This is the first rule. The second rule is that if we are rounding to nearest 100, then we look at the neighbor on the right side of this 100 place. This is the neighbor. So if this number is less than 5, then there will be no change here. It comes automatically as such. Okay, 9. This will come as such, 9. So it becomes 9900. So original number was 9939. So when we decided to round to nearest 100, so we got the answer 9900. Okay. Now we move to another number. Let's suppose we have 659. If we need to round it to nearest 100, okay. So the very first action is, see, we are talking about the nearest 100. So place some symbol here so that we should know, we should keep in mind that we are going for rounding to nearest 100. The very first action is that all digits on the right side of this 100 place, they become 0. It is 0. It is 0. Then we look at the neighbor of this 100 on the right side. This is the neighbor. If this number is equal to 5, then we add 1 to the 100th place. This 100th place, we add 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. It becomes 7. 700 is the answer. So original number was 659. So when we decided to round it to nearest 100, so we got the answer 700. This was another example. So now we will be moving ahead to more examples for rounding to nearest 100. If this is 1000 place, so let's suppose we have a number which is 9604. 4960 is the number. We need to round it to nearest 100. Okay, if we are talking about nearest 100, place some symbol here that we should keep in mind that we are talking about rounding to nearest 100. The very first action is that when we talk about rounding to nearest 100, all the digits on the right side of the 100 place, they become 0. It becomes 0. It becomes 0. This is the first action. The second action is that if we are opting for rounding to nearest 100, this is 100 place, so we look at the neighbor on the right side of 100. This is 6. Okay, so if this number is greater than 5, then we add 1 to the 100th place. Okay, we'll add 1 here. It becomes 9 plus 1, 10. Okay, now keep in mind, this is 1, this is 10. This will be occupying this place, and this will be carry forward. It will be carry forwarding to this 1000 place. 4 plus 1 becomes 5. So 5000 is the answer. So our original number was 4960. So when we decided to round to nearest 100, so we followed two rules. The first one was that all the numbers on the right side of the 100 place, they become automatically 0. So we placed 0 here. Then we look at the neighbor of the 100 on the right side, which is this 6. We saw this is greater than 5. Then we add 1 number to the 100th place. It becomes 10. So 0 occupied this place and 1 was carried forward here. 4 plus 1, 5. So original number 4960, it became 5000 when we rounded it to nearest 100. So this was the another example. Now we will be doing another example. 3956. This is the number, and if we say that we need to round it to nearest 100, so the very first rule is that both the digits on the right side of the 100 place, they become 00. Then the second rule is that if we are opting for nearest 100, so the neighbor of this 100th place, which is 5, we see if it is equal to 5 or greater than 5, then we add 1 here. It becomes 9 plus 1, 10. When we have 10 with us, then this 0, this takes place, this 1, and this 1 is carried forward to the 1000 place. 3 plus 1, it becomes 4. So we get the number 4000. So original number was 3956. Okay, and when we decided to round it to nearest 100, so we got the answer 4000. So we have done a lot of examples to make you understand the process for rounding to nearest 100 and nearest 10. Okay, now we will be talking about nearest, rounding to nearest 1000. Okay, so stay with us and keep watching this video. We will be going forward to another level, that is rounding to nearest 1000. Okay, we will consider several examples to make you understand how it works, how to do, what is the process. So the very first thing is the 6853. 6853, this is the number, ones, tens, 100, 1000. We need to round it to nearest 1000. So place some symbol that we are going for nearest 1000 rounding. Okay, so very first thing is, the very first action is, if we are considering rounding to nearest 1000, okay, so all the numbers, all the digits on the right side, the first action, they become 0. 0, 0, 0. Okay, the second action is that if we are rounding to nearest 1000, which is this, so we look at the immediate neighbor, which is this one, 8. If this neighbor, if it is greater than 5, okay, Then we add 1 to this one. 6 plus 1, 7. It becomes 7. So 7000 is the answer. 6853 was the original number. We decided to go for rounding to nearest 1000. Okay. The very first action is that when we decide to go for rounding nearest 1000, so all the digits on the right side become 0. So we made these instantly 0, 0, 0 altogether. Then the second rule is that if we are opting for rounding to nearest 1000, we look at the immediate neighbor on the right side, which is 8. This figure is greater than 5, so we need to add 1 to the 1000 place. 6 plus 1, 7. So 7000 is the answer for this example. We will move ahead. We would like to do more examples to make you understand. So another is 5464. 5464. If we need to round to nearest 1000, place some symbol. This is 1000 place. We are opting for rounding to nearest 1000. The very first action is that when we decide to round to nearest 1000, all the digits on the right side of 1000 place, they become 0. This is the first action. 0, 0, 0. The second action is that we look at the immediate neighbor of 1000 on the right side, which is this 4 number. This 4 is less than 5. Then there will be no change here. Okay, it comes automatically as such, 5000. So 5464, when rounded to nearest 1000, it becomes 5000. This was another example. Now we will be going for some more examples for better clarity. Another thing is 1500 kilometer long, 1500. When we need to go for rounding to nearest 1000, this is 1000 place. So first action is that all the digits on the right side of 1000 place become 0. Second action is that when we are talking about rounding to nearest 1000, okay, so we need to look on the immediate neighbor, which is 5. If this 5 number is equal to 5 or greater than 5, then we add 1 to the 1000 place, it becomes 2000. So the original number was 1500. So when we decided to round it to nearest 1000, so we got the answer 2000. Okay, so this was another example. Now we move ahead with more examples to provide more clarity. Another is 17,500, ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000. Okay, so the number is 17500. We need to round it to nearest 1000. This is the 1000 place. Mark it here so that it should be in your mind that we are going for rounding to nearest 1000. The very first action is that all the digits on the right side of the 1000 place, they become 0. This is the first action. Second action is that we need to look on the immediate neighbor on the right side of 1000 place, which is this one. If this number is equal to 5 or greater than 5, then we add 1 here to the 1000 place, becomes 7 plus 1, 8. It comes like this, no change. 18000 is the answer for this question. The original number was 17500 and we opted to go for rounding to nearest 1000. So we followed the rules and we got the answer 18000. 18,000 was the answer for this example. Now we move ahead to another number, 38562. 38562. When we are talking about rounding to nearest 1000, place some mark here so that you should keep in mind that you are doing to nearest 1000. The very first action is that all the numbers towards the right side of the 1000 place, they automatically become 0. The second thing is that when we are rounding to the nearest 1000, we just look at the right side immediate neighbor of this one, 1000. This is the neighbor. This is number 5. If here number is 5 equal to 5 or greater than 5, then we add 1 to this place. It becomes 8 plus 1, 9. There is no change here. 39000 is the answer. Okay, so original number was 38562. When we decided to round it to nearest thousands, so we followed the rules and we got the number 39000. That was our answer. Now we will like to do more examples. The next one is 79860. 79860. When we decide to round it to nearest 1000, this is the 1000 place. place a mark to understand, to remember, to keep in mind that we are doing nearest thousand. The very first action is that all the digits on the right side, they become 0. The second action is that we look at the immediate neighbor on the right side of thousand place, which is 8. Okay, this one. This 8 is greater than 5. Okay, this 8 is greater than 5, so we add 1 here. It becomes 9 plus 1, 10. It becomes 10. This 0 will occupy this place. This 1 will be carry forward plus 1 here. 7 plus 1, 8. So it becomes 80,000. So the original number was 79860. So when we decided to round to nearest thousand, so we got the answer 80,000. We followed the rules and we were just on the destination to hit the point, to hit the target. Now we will be doing more such examples to bring more clarity for nearest rounding to nearest thousand. So now we will be going to 26,000. This is 26,000. Okay, so if we need to round off this to nearest thousand, okay, so we say, no, this is not the example, we will follow some other example. The other example we will follow is 65595. 65595. This is the number. We need to round it to nearest thousand. This is the thousand place. We mark it to keep in mind that we are doing to nearest thousand. The very first action is all the numbers on the right side of thousand place, they become 0. The second action is that we need to look at the immediate right neighbor, right side of neighbor. This is the neighbor for this thousand place. 5, this is the neighbor. Okay, if this number is equal to 5, then we add 1 to this place, thousand place. 5 plus 1 is 6. It is 6. Okay, so the original number was 65,595. So when we decided to round into nearest thousand, we got the answer 66,000. Okay, so this was another example for you to understand how we are working on the rules. Okay, then we go to another example, 89750. 89750. When we decide to round to nearest thousand, place some mark here. So the very first rule is that all these on the right side, they become 0. The second thing is that we just look on the immediate neighbor on the right side, which is this 7. So 7 is greater than 5. Okay, then we add 1 to thousand place. It becomes 9 plus 1, 10. 0 will occupy this place. This 1 will be carried forward, plus 1, 8 plus 1 becomes 9. So the original number was 89,750. So when we decided to round it to nearest thousand, we got the answer 90,000. We will be doing more examples so that the things should be clear for you. The more you do the practice, easier it becomes for you to hold, to have a grip. 3499. 3499. This is the number. We need to round it to nearest thousand. Okay, the very first action is that all the numbers on the right side of the thousand place become 0. Second action is we just look on the immediate neighbor on the right side, which is 4. This 4 is less than 5. Okay, when the number here is less than 5, then no change here, it comes here automatically. As such, 3000 is the answer. So the original number was 3499. So when we opted for rounding to nearest thousand, we got the answer 3000. This is how we work with our rules. Okay, another example is 39361. 39361. If we need to round it to nearest thousands, so we do is that place a mark here that we are doing for nearest thousand. The very first action is that all the numbers on the right side, they become 0. Second action is that we just look at the immediate neighbor on the right side of thousand place, which is 3. This number is less than 5, so no change here. It comes here as such, no change here. So 39,000 is the answer. Original number was 39361. So when we decided to round it to nearest thousand, so we applied the rules and we got the answer 39,000. Okay, so by this way we have done several examples for you to understand how to do rounding to nearest 10 and how to do rounding to nearest hundred and to how to do rounding to nearest thousands.